go to art school, and I was up in San Francisco at a kind of performance art exhibit situation. I don't know if you've been to many of those in the city, but we had a whole map, and we wandered around all day in San Francisco from place to place, and most of them were in warehouses, and they were dimly lit, and you would go in and there would be these people sort of standing around, moving really slowly, doing things under lights I didn't really understand, but it was all very deep. And so I done that all day, and I'm pretty much a homebody. I don't get out much. I don't go to the city very much, and so I got lost in San Francisco, and I couldn't find my car. And I ended up wandering, and it started to get dark. I still couldn't find my car, and I ended up in Chinatown, and I was wandering down a little side street, and from up ahead I saw this window, and there was this amazing glow coming from this window, and it was such a beautiful, warm, kind of cool light, and I was just drawn to it. And I went up to the shop, and it's a really dingy window that you couldn't really see through very well. And I looked in, and I could just see, like, you know, a counter, and behind the counter, hanging by hooks, were these little angels. And I mean, they were like complete little people with wings. And I couldn't help myself, really. I went into the shop, and there was really, I mean, it was dark, and it was really filthy, and there was a little guy behind the counter, and white hair, and a lot of wrinkles, and a little beret, actually. And he was giving me that classic shop owner look, you know, are you going to buy, or are you just going to wander around taking up my time? But sure enough, there were really angels behind the counter, and they had kind of translucent skin, you know, and you could see all their veins and stuff. And there was a couple of boys and one girl, but they were just emitting this amazingly warm, comforting glow. I just found it so nice just to kind of stand in their presence. And while I was standing there, I was sort of dumbfounded, because I mean, this doesn't happen to me every day. And this guy comes running in, and he's like, Jack, you know, I need 2 more angels. The ones you sold me last week, they're already dead, you know, and so I gotta have 2 more, because business has dropped through the floor, and I need the angels now. So the guy behind the counter is like, well, I don't know, you know, a couple of angels, I don't know, 50 cents. And so they started bartering back and forth, and I'm thinking, 50 cents for an angel? I mean, I could buy like 50 right now, you know, just what I got in my pocket. And so they haggle, and finally they settle on, I don't know, like 33 cents an angel or something. And the guy gets out a big brown burlap bag and a big hook, and he hooks them down and shoves them in the burlap bag. And then he leaves, and then I'm left with just the one angel and the shopkeeper, and I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable. So I end up actually leaving the store and following the guy who'd come in, and I stopped him. I said, what are you going to do with those angels? And he says, oh, well, you know, I run a brothel up the street, and when I hang them in the window, and the light comes out, and people are just drawn in, and once they're inside, I can normally, you know, sell them something at least, right? And I was like, God, that's kind of sick. I mean, they're angels. I mean, do they turn tricks? And the guy's like, no, are you nuts? They're angels. They don't turn tricks, you know, and they just bring the customers in, but they don't last very long. They last about a week. I've never had figured out what to feed them. You let them out of the bag, and they frown like moths, and then before long, they're dead. There's like this little husk on the floor, and they turn to dust, and you have to sweep them up and go buy more. And I said to the guy, I can't believe God would allow this to happen. And he looks at me, and he says, well, who do you think owns the store?